Welcome to the Jordan Leer program. Welcome to the 103rd edition of the Jordan Leer program, the multimedia artistic podcast show. I need to kill that term podcast, man. It's time for the Jedi to die. Get rid of the it's just a show. It's a show. This is Late Night with Conan O'Brien, with Johnny Carson, with fucking, it's not a podcast anymore. Now you got to make a fucking film. You got to, hey, I don't got to do shit. This is my show. I stand by none of it. This is bibble babble, dibble dabble. This isn't real stuff. This isn't, I'm not like some comedian up here trying to like tell you, oh, this is where I talk about real life and the parts of the road and the real shit. Oh, no, this is all fake. This is words made up flibble flabble, okay? It's no different than what everyone else is doing in real life at their fucking real jobs every day, okay? So just listen to it while you're there. Listen to this dibble dabble. This is, if you're not familiar with me, my name is Jordan Leer. I was born on the streets. I went into the army at the age of 9. Al-Qaeda's been trying to behead me for over 20 years. I've been on the run. And then I started doing stand-up comedy in Los Angeles at the age of 13. I was on Epstein Island by the age of 15. I was a complete trained assassin by the time I was 9. I time traveled. Okay, I'm Jordan. I play music. I make movies. I have a film coming out. It's already out. I'm premiering it September 12th. On screen, big, so people can see it, called Sex, Drugs, and Open Mics. That's who I am. What is this? What is this? Bibble babble. It's August. It's the end of summer. The weather is so nice right now, if you're in the right location, that you can't feel it. You can't. You can hear it. You're out there listening to nature. Sometimes, I don't know if you can hear that. Nature can be relatively annoying. I was out here doing yoga the other day, and I was like, oh, I'm just listening to nature. And it was just, sometimes in the heat of the day, whether it's the birds or the bugs, they reach like a continual chorus of zzz. And I was sitting out here, and it was like, part of it was like Tibetan healing music, but part of it was like, it's kind of like a fucking smoke alarm going off. Fuck this, and you go outside. I heard somebody say once about like whether you're on the computer or whether you're trying to be in nature, but you are nature, man. Some things ain't natural though, man. That Bible got something to it. I'm telling you, we got a lot. Boys of summer are gone. It's the end of summer. It's that back to school vibe. I get older. I don't even want to say how old I am, but I get older, and I just feel like no matter what, when fall time comes around, I have this feeling like I need to change my life around. I don't know what though, because I like it. It's fine, but you just feel like you should do something. Kids got to go back to classes. Well, adults, you should have to everyone should get a new job in the fall every year. You got all summer. Government can look at your taxes and your report. They're like, yeah, this guy sucks at this. He's good at this. This fall he's going to do this. Drugs. You're just assigned that. You're like, oh, dude, I'm going to be a loser? Well, okay, You get to fucking do a bunch of blow and meth. Or you get it one, you're like, oh, man, I'm going to be important. I can't have any fun at all. What am I going to be? I remember I worked with this, woman in her 50s. She was like a PA on set once. She's a very nice lady. And she goes, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. That always stuck with me. Yeah, ditto. Summer. The boys of summer are gone. I hope you did. You know, this is where you get that regret feeling. You're like, did I take a dip in a lake? Did I get on a boat? Did I walk through the woods? Look at some gardens? Did I take a trip? Did I go to a ball game? Catch a hot dog? Did I float down the river? Did I catch a fish? Did I cut its head off and ate it? What else? Other summer things? Come on, shout them out at home. What do you like to do in summer? Did I rollerblade? Did I rollerblade enough? You know? That's the problem with hobbies. Like, you start doing it and you realize you'll never have enough time in your whole life to do that hobby as much. My wife had that feeling the other day we were watching. She loves to read. She reads. All she does is fucking read. And then some book came up. I forget what it was. It was like one of those classic novels on Jeopardy. And she's like, there's so many fucking books. It pisses you off, you know. Like surfing, you ride one wave and you're like, I'll never ride all the waves. I should just quit now. Nah. Keep it going. Life is long. Gotta fill in the fucking time. What did I do this summer that was so cool? I don't know, it was too cool. I did all the stuff. I did everything I just mentioned. I did. That you wish you would have done. I did. I took a dip in everything. Went to the games. Saw the stuff. Tell you the truth, I'm ready for it to be winter and shitty weather, so I have an excuse to be on a computer, fucking off, playing video games. I'll get into it later. Too obsessed with video games. Video games just take it all for you. You know, I need to stop watching so much sports and playing video games because, you know, this nature's nice. It's so green. Boys of summer. Did you go to a farmer's market? Did you go to a flea market? I went to a flea market and I got a bunch of toys. You know, I break them out on my podcast from time to time. I don't buy a lot. I don't buy stuff a lot. I just don't. I don't buy things. You know, I buy food. You know, other stuff. But I found Jim Carrey's The Riddler for $3 at a flea market. And yeah, it's banged up. But dude, okay, number one, I don't have a Riddler. And so, you know, whenever I go to these thrift stores with my wife, you know, I have fun now, but it's easy at the beginning whenever, you know, you go shopping. You're like, what do I do? So at first, I was like, okay, I'm going to try and find an alien. I'm going to find a toy. And then since, you know, I found my way around thrift stores. I know my set. Now I'm excited. I go to my toys. I go to the Ninja Turtles. I go to the Batmans. I go to the comic books. Maybe the vinyls. Maybe some clothes, you know. Be like, honey, can I get these dirt bike pants? I want to wear them to something important. But I get a lot out of just gandering. I have like a scavenger hunt in my head. Where I'm like, I'm going to find something MSU, something Cubs. But I've never seen Jim Carrey's The Riddler. Now granted, if it's out of the box, such a relief to me because, you know, you guys want it in the box, so it's worth more, and you sell it, and I don't want to touch it. I like that the dog already bit its shit off. Jim Carrey's The Riddler is very monumental. 1990, was that 97? You know, I was such a Jim Carrey fan and such a Batman fan, so to go to the movies and see them culminate. And is that the one with... No, that's not the one with Arnold. That was the next one. This was the one with Tommy Lee Jones. Oh, yeah, but it was like stars my mom liked at the time. You know, she's like, oh, Tommy Lee Jones. Fuck, dude, The Riddler. This is the combo of the funny and also, like, superhero stuff, action. Stuff a kid like, you know. It's got his face, Edward Nygma or Edward Nashton. He's got like two names. I love how they explored that a little bit in Pattinson's Batman when they picked him up. His name was Edward Nashton, but his ID said Nygma. That's not cashing it in. It's crazy. People were bringing up how social media is like Apple TV is like the thing that he was creating in this movie, the warning about like the TV box or whatever sucking your brain and making you dumb. Hey, I'm doing my part. I'm trying to put my content out there. I'm content with that. Boys of summer. I just hope you guys get out there and enjoy the rest of your summer before you got to get a pair of Jinko jeans and, Jansport backpack. Maybe something college ruled. Fucking TI-83 in a protractor. And get a new life going. Maybe partway through, skip class, get back out on that lake. Alright, I got much more coming up ahead in news, science and nature, sports, and of course the program where I talk about all the fruit movies and books and plays and TV shows and video games I watched. Go to jordanlear.com for more. And go to your new job. Thank you. Welcome back to the Jordan Leer program. Welcome to the World News segment. Breaking news. Hayden Panettiere is dead. She's dead. She was murdered. Maybe allegedly. I don't know. I don't know if it's fun to think that she was offed by the Epstein Island Hollywood Mafia, or it was her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, or if it was drugs, or if it was a depleted lifestyle from the lack of acting jobs and the increase in self-tapes that has eaten this industry alive and by and large taken away the middle class. Every actor you know has a podcast. You're looking at him. I just booked a TV show. You think I'm gonna rest on my laurels? No, I'm getting my ass out there and making a podcast. And I saw that Hayden Panettiere, who had a brother that died a few years ago, and that brother, I'll let you know. Here's my Hollywood Hayden story. And I already told this to my wife so I can clear it. When I moved out to Los Angeles, one of the first girls I asked out on a date reluctantly took my number. And then, the night of, an hour after I was going to pick her up, she texted me saying she couldn't go because she was going to hang out with Hayden Panettiere's brother. So, who won that one? Okay? Do you think he made the smart choice? Okay, because I'm married to a woman I love, and you're still obsessed with some guy that's dead. And his sister. Okay, now I'm stomping on the grave. Now I need to slow the fuck down. I need to backpedal a little bit. I loved Hayden Panettiere. I loved her in Remember the Titans. I never saw Heroes. I liked the idea of watching all of that show. It looked cool. I heard they axed it because X-Men was fucking about to take over and shit, and Marvel was about to do the shit, so they didn't want fucking Heroes going on TV. These are just theories. Nothing I say on this podcast is true, okay? It's all comedic conjecture. I don't stand by any of it. This is a caricature I'm playing of myself in these opinions of world news. Okay, this isn't real world news, obviously. Look at me. I'm trying to match this fucking t-shirt I'm wearing. I just want to say this. If anyone was going to take anything seriously, okay, if the Hollywood mafia is real, okay, and Hayden Panettiere and her brother, rest in peace, are dead, and it's because they wanted to speak out on the horrific sex trafficking and mind control manipulation, blackmail, and blackballing, and all the fucking everything bad. That's why they might have killed them, and Michelle Trachtenberg, and the chick who played Lilo, and Samara from The Ring, and the famous Jet Jackson, and James Van Der Beek, and Paul Walker, and everyone on the line on down. What I'm trying to say is, if that is true, and if these words that I was speaking actually had substance, which they don't, I just want the Illuminati to know that I'm ready to play ball. Those fucking pussies that you guys had to kill that couldn't take it, what's their fucking problem? Snitches get stitches. Don't you fucking know? Okay? Why don't you get a real actor? Jordan Leer. That's my name. Come on, dude. I won't squeal. I won't talk shit. I'll do whatever you guys want, man. I'll do whatever you guys want. I won't fucking talk shit. Like Hayden wanted to fucking run her mouth, man. James wanted start of this game, James Van Der Beek said he was in the Illuminati. Let's be heroes. Oh, that takes it back to Hayden. Heroes, the eclipse. They said she was born during the eclipse, died during the eclipse. Pete Crow Armstrong said he used to get babysat by her, but that doesn't make sense because stage acting parents don't hire the actors to be their babysitter. They have like immigrants they hire to do that. It's weird. I think she died. It's a PCA star could rise. That's it in news. None of it was true. Coming up will be Science and Nature. I think for logistic reasons, I'm going to record that last. So it's just a little behind the scenes. Next, I'm going to do sports. But you'll see science and coming up next. Science and Nature. We're going to go to the garden. Thank you. back to the Jordan Leer program. Science and Nature portion. Look at this shit. I got pumpkins, dude. These pumpkins. Came here, didn't think I had anything growing. This shit was all overgrown. I just mowed over this grass and shit today. But then I saw like these little vines were growing. And these are the pumpkins I planted. Something like that. Look at this. Fucking, you're a good man, Charlie Brown. This is my pumpkin patch. And I put this lattice underneath. I don't know. Kind of shooting from the hip. Trying to do this lazy gardening. But if I get a few, I planted some watermelons and some pumpkins over here. Didn't get any watermelons. But if these freaking pumpkins turn out, it'd be something. What's this, a bulb? Let's see, this shit. It's hard to do. I don't know. Bugs. Composting and throwing some pumpkins in the ground. All you can do in this world. Look at this. That's what I call gardening. That's what I call gardening. Turn all this crap up. Let's go check this out. Found some rocks. Got a little rock garden. There's a little fucking drainage runoff. It's the little things that bring you happiness in life. Like this brought me peace. I found all these rocks in the garden. Pulled them out. I don't need stand-up comedy. I have a podcast where I collect the rocks. It's a good life. All right, that's the end of the Science and Nature. Welcome to the Sports Report. Let's talk Cubbies. Let's talk baseball, man. Cubbies at this point, coming down to the last couple weeks of August, they're still like 5 games out of first, but they're like hot. It's crazy. I wish they didn't let so many teams in the playoffs. I think I said that last time. But, man, the Cubs are hot. PCA, getting on base, stealing base, hitting home runs. It's exciting to watch. They got that Gossman guy, and Gossman's good. He wasn't very exciting in his first 2 games. Kind of so-so. He has terrible hand cramps. Doesn't matter. You just need him to throw the freaking heat late October. Doesn't even have to, if you get in, you get in. And I can talk all the crap about too many people getting in, but if you get in, dude, he could be good. That Clay Holmes guy pitched pretty good. They brought Cabrera back, and he looked not so great. But the dude's so young, you didn't even know if he was going to be the man this year. Javier Assad, though, even coming out of the bullpen, was looking great. Cubs could. There's no formula, because like the Dodgers probably have the best team in baseball, but they're playing like crap right now. So I'm happy as a Cubs fan. I will say it's just fun to be in tune with the league right now. Like I'm watching Tigers. I made it a point this year to try and do some Michigan team action, and it's been fun. It's fun watching them trade Scooball and almost take the division back. They're like in 4th place, but it's bounced around. The whole division's kind of crappy. It's led by the White Sox. What do you expect? Yeah, it's a good time to be a Cubs fan. I don't know, man. There's going to be some tough roster decisions coming up the next month, because who's that freaking guy, that center fielder? I forget his name, but he's pretty good. They traded for. We didn't need another position player, but he's not bad. And there's Pedro, who's freaking looking great, but he's been a little cold this last week. And he's made some spectacular defensive plays, but he hasn't been bulletproof on a couple tough plays. So Alcantara's back up in the lineup. I'm just saying, all these pitchers, I can't tell. Okay, let me make my prediction. Who's starting 4? Not 5. Who's your starting 4? Come October, Shoto, Imanaga, Michael Boyd, Gossman. I would go with Peterson. I like the way Peterson has been throwing. I know they wanted to try him in the bullpen. I know Clay Holmes looked very good too. These are good problems to have, man. I know there's thoughts of Justin Steele maybe coming back. I would go with Peterson as that fourth guy. And have Holmes. Maybe have an alternating platoon between 4 and 5 for come October. That's how I would fucking rock it. Yeah, that's the Cubs report, I guess. I'm going to say, what's going on with that? Let me do a little quick edit, and then I'll switch over to Michigan State sports. All right, okay. Sparty on. Got transition over to Michigan State. I need more than one jersey. This is a killer freaking, it's got the number of Alessio Milovic and Drew Neitzel, I think they said back in the day. Jace Richardson, whatever. Hey, Michigan State. Here's the news. Jackson Kohler's coming back, and not to state. That sucks. That's crazy. They're giving all these, and even in football, there's granting all these guys a 5th year. So these dudes that got drafted or joined pro teams, including him and Carson Cooper and Trey Holloman, they can come back. And man, it would have been a dream. It would have been so cool, fucking, for him to come back and just play for State. But the way it works, for Tom Izzo and everyone, he already recruited his next team, and he had this new center coming over, transferred from the smaller school. I forget what school he came from. The European dude. He's got a couple other guys, and they've been working together, and they had all their bonding stuff. And he's like, he'd have to kick one of them off. It'd be a dream if someone just got hurt and Jackson could join, but whatever. I heard Jackson's going to is it BYU? Is that the Mormon one? He's from Utah. That would make sense, right? Is that why? I hope he kicks ass and it's not Sparty's. I hope he kicks ass and it's not mine. Oh, I wish him and Carson Cooper come back. I wish Jace Richardson come back. Why not? I bet they could. Well, Jace could. Anyways, so that's that on the Michigan State basketball. MSU football, it's coming up, baby. It's that's all I can say. It's coming up. Looking forward to Alessio's arm, McCrae's hands, Cam Edwards' running skills, Jordan Hall's defense, and Kenny Soares Jr.'s leadership, and Pat Fitzgerald's energy. Mark D'Antonio came and fired him up. They came by practice, and D'Antonio said it's about the inches. I'm like, I've never heard that before, but somehow it feels like it's the first time I've heard it. Coach D, that's my coach. Is that the MSU report? Okay. Preseason football. NFL's going down. I got the jersey. I'm not gonna put it on. I'm gonna wait. I got that from my father-in-law. He's a huge Bears fan. He's a Bear, man. And he's at me. He's like, "Oh, take it. He's got a ton of jerseys." And I grabbed his blue Brandon Marshall one last year. And then this year I grabbed a white and an orange because I just want the variety. And a bunch of my friends are Lions fans, so I kind of want to piss them off, even though I like the Lions. Anyways, I'm watching preseason. I talked to everyone about how my journey with football is gone, where I loved it, I watched it, and then I felt like it was kind of rigged and manipulated and just more media influence and showmanship influence. It's very much turned into pro wrestling. These refs, it's not a real athletic commission. They're not it's a private organization. It's a circus show. Anyways, people crap on the preseason games because they're like, "Oh, it's not a real game." I'm like, well, none of it's a real fucking game. Who cares? It's not real. So I've been getting pumped, dude. But Steve, I love it. I wish these games, this would be interesting for the preseason. Make it, because guys are trying to make the team, and I love, the Steelers are getting ready to play tonight, and they're, Aaron Rodgers is not playing at all. Because, you don't want people to get hurt. It's, for no reason. And they have Will Howard and Drew Aller, 2 rookies and the sophomore. split in time. They're going to play the whole game. They're not even playing Mason Rudolph. I wish you had to adhere to rules like that. Like, you couldn't play your veterans. If a guy was so old in the league, like, he couldn't do the, so many quarters he was allowed. But make the preseason games still count, though, as like a tiebreaker or some sort of home field advantage in certain situations. Like, make it count, even if it doesn't necessarily come into play. I don't know, because guys are playing to win, but they're really playing to make plays. I just want to say I've been having a good time. One of these days I should get back to writing, making something, but I've been content watching these fools just smash into each other for preseason. It's my season. What else did I put? Anything else on the sports report? MSU, bring back Javon Ringer and Greg Jones. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Le'Veon still has got another year. They need to start doing that. I will start buying season tickets if they let that kind of madness happen, which Tom Izzo would never condone. But I might. And everything I say on this podcast is fiction anyways. Alright. Program's next. Good sports report. That was a great sports report. Welcome to What? Welcome back to the Jordan Leer program. Time for the program proper, mate. Here's for the list of all the movies I watched and the books I read and the television shows I tuned into, the video games I played. List of all the stuff. I don't know. This gives me stuff to riff off of. Yeah. This is content. Be content. Okay. So my lady, usually I have to impress this upon people. I'm like, hey, can we do this nerdy thing? And my girl, my wife, my bitch, my girl, as Tech 9 would say, my wife, as I should say, wants to watch all the Marvel movies before Doomsday comes out. And she sent me on one of those rants, man, because I've done it before. She's seen most of these. She's seen a lot of them, not every single one. But I was like, baby, if you really want to do it proper, we gotta watch like the X-Men, and we gotta watch Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's, and we need to watch Daredevil and the original Fantastic Four movies and all of them, because they're gonna culminate and tie together. You're gonna get to Secret Wars the following year, and it's gonna be all of them. And she was like, whatever, maybe. I just want to watch like the Marvel ones. She goes, she looked up the list. The list is Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man 2, Captain America, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, somewhere's in there, some Spider-Man Winter Soldiers, some Civil War, some Infinity War, fucking Endgame, there's... Anyways, we watched Iron Man. We watched The Incredible Hulk. We watched Iron Man 2. I forgot to write that down, but we did. Tonight we're going to watch Thor. In between then, I did squeeze in Ang Lee's Hulk, which came out previously to The Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton's Hulk. And Edward Norton, although that movie is recognized as canon, he has been replaced by Mark Ruffalo because he wanted more money. Anyways, hard to describe because, she is going about this fandom the right way. You just go, you watch. I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey, you don't realize that not all Disney didn't even own all this shit, so they didn't have all the rights to the studio. So, the whole copyright thing, it's just so hard to even build up to Avengers or reference other characters when you're just trying to make one comic book movie at a time. And comic book movies hadn't really been pulled off. I mean, they had, but just in doses, and they've been heavily critiqued, from Tim Burton's Batmans to Christopher Nolan's, who really knocked it out of the park. But, that's one property. But still, the idea that they kicked off Iron Man, they had this post-credit scene with Nick Fury, and they're like, hey, we're going to lead to this thing where pretty much the only movies that make money are this, and it's going to be one coherent universe. Because, dude, as a kid, as a 90s kid, okay, and it's probably the same for the comic book originals that we're reading in the 60s and 70s, but if you watch the Spider-Man, X-Men, Avengers, those cartoons, you savored for the team-ups. You savored for Daredevil showing up in Spider-Man, the animated series, and then Peter Parker having to go over to X-Men, and then have the 6 Forgotten Warriors where he grabs Captain America and then asks Fantastic Four and Storm. They all team up. It's cool. And then, they just weren't making those big budget. They weren't making those movies. There's like a joke of a TV show in live action of Spider-Man in the 80s, which is pretty cool when you look back on it. But, to get him swinging around, it looked too goofy. Jurassic Park is the one crazy thing they pulled off naturally because Spielberg knew how. Anyways, I'm rambling here. Just the fact that you got Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you're like, oh, I'm good. Can I get a couple more? And then legally to involve all the other characters, because multiple studios were separately buying up the rights to them and holding on to them and holding them back. So it's like you couldn't just put Captain America in that movie. It'd be like, who owns this shit? Anyways, I try to say all this every time we sit down to watch these fucking movies, and I need to shut up. But it was a moment in time, man. Iron Man. Iron Man wasn't like that in the comic books, and now that's Iron Man. And I love that we get different adaptations, and the movies, the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is very, it's like a different Ultimates universe spin-off as they do in the comics. What am I saying here? Here's what I want to say. Ang Lee's Hulk. Ang Lee, the dude who made Brokeback Mountain. That fucking movie's badass, dude. And I accept that it's not like the Hulk, but you can see how it was such an origin story that they kind of made the Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk, kind of a sequel to that. It sort of works as that. It picks up, it's like, oh yeah, his origin story with Betty Ross already happened. Let's take it from here. I'm getting in there, y'all. I'm getting in there. Iron Man. Here's a critique of Iron Man. And I love Iron Man. The movie, too. But it's kind of like... It's so just Iron Man. Like, there's no, villain. And whenever here's my critique. Jeff Bridges' Ironmonger, which I love. I would say I don't even want to change this movie. However... It kind of doesn't make sense the way Ironmonger goes apeshit at the fucking end. Just saying, because the dude cares about money. So why would he want to go to jail? He gets access. He's like, I'm just going to put on this. He's mad at Tony Stark and he wants to. Why wouldn't he just put on this media campaign to defraud Tony Stark or get him in trouble for some lawsuit? Because he just goes crazy and he becomes a murderer, and he never was that before. I mean, maybe they should have showed how he was. But they didn't. He just goes crazy, and I'm like, why did he lose his mind like that? He's the dude, man. In Green Goblin, or in Spider-Man, when Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe's, loses his mind, I really believe it because he drinks the juice, so it makes him go nuts. Like, he's already a pretty bad guy, but that really tips him over the edge, you know? I don't even see Ironmonger, Obadiah Stane. I see him playing piano, eating pizza. What the fuck? What happened? Anyways, I wonder if they'll dare bring Terrence Howard back for Secret Wars. Pull it. Watching those movies, man. I'll come back to those. I watched The Incredible Hulk Returns, the TV version with it's got that 80s version of Thor. I wanted to watch that kind of in prep to watch Thor tonight. Just to see. I just love watching this, to see the way they do effects back in the 80s. You know, and there's a lot that you still do now that they did back then. Just like simple things of blending a change, like when Thor shows up out of this back in the 80s version. John Blake, this dude, like summons him. You know, it's not like Thor comes, like some scientist guy has to summon him. It's a way different take. But anyways, he has to show up and they do this blurry fade in, fade out, flickering thing. Yeah, it's interesting to see. Fuck, man. I am so impressed by the way the Hulk looks in that 80s show. Because they don't do the CGI thing. They do they have one guy playing David Bruce Banner. They call him David in this one. And then the guy who plays Hulk is Lou Ferrigno. He's a real bodybuilder painted green. He looks like the Hulk, man. I don't know. I think when I was younger, because it just doesn't work as well. But now I'm like, that guy's fucking big. It's a Hulk. God. He would have crushed on social media back then. Does he now? How do I follow the Hulk? I should. They gotta bring all those versions of Hulk for Secret Wars. That would be sick, yeah. Norton versus Ferrigno versus Ruffalo versus Emil's Abomination. Tim Roth. Tim Roth is a good actor, man. Tim Roth is a good actor. I really believe Blonsky in that. Yeah, other than that, movies. Put on Bill and Ted, nice back-to-school movie, sci-fi. Another one with the effects I like. And stumbled upon this Emilio Estevez like spoof movie called Loaded Weapon 1. Just ridiculous. It's real, like, you know, I haven't seen those 80s spoof movies. Like, we watched Scary Movie in those movies in the 2000s. I thought those were the first parody movies. Like, they're not. They've been making parody movies for and ever. Referencing movies. I love it. All right. That concludes the movies portion of it. Let me come back with a little steam for the books. Welcome, Hack, to the Jordan Leer program. The book report. I'm reading this. This is the woman book all the women are reading. Court of Thorns and Roses. My wife wanted me to read it. I read it. You know, it's Harry Potter Twilight, which I'm freaking there for, man. I'm at the court for that. But it's got the banging, not a ton. Like, it's not like laced with it. It was like it's a little sprinkled in it. It's not laced. It's kind of sprinkled, hardcore banging, you know. And kind of puts me in like. And granted, I don't stand by anything I say in this podcast. This is all BS fiction that I'm saying. But this book made me crawl inside to the brain of a woman. And, you know, wanting a guy that hates her, or she thinks hates him, and turns out he doesn't. He loves her. You know, it was like that. It's about fairies. She's this human. It's like dystopian. We're so poor. Oh my God, we used to be rich. We're poor. And fucking, you know, this fair is magic shit, and there's scary magic shit, and she kills this scary magic wolf or some shit, and then they come capture her and take her over. Some fairy takes her over this wall. There's always a wall, you know. This other side is magic shit. This other world I've never heard of. I've only heard of. And then she goes and some dude, and she's pissed. She's like, fuck you guys. And they're like, fuck you killed one of our fucking guys. One of our fairies. And she's like, I don't fucking, well, you're all evil. You enslaved us. And then, but the whole book is just like everything. Once she thinks something, she finds out, oh, that's not true. It's just magic happening. Like, she didn't see these people this whole, like, half of the book, and then she realized there was invisible fairies all through this palace. She's like, oh my god, I only knew. And she thought that fairies couldn't lie, and it turns out they can lie, and she, I don't know, she's just talking about how hot her captor, or she got like Stockholm syndrome. Fucking Tamlin, he's got a fucked up eye or some shit. Wears a mask, but she's like, but he's got a mouth I can see. His forearms are corded in muscle. He looks so... It's fucking Fabio Fairy Fabio. He sounds hot. I don't want to hate on it. I felt a certain way. And she starts to like it. She paints. She's a painter. That's what, like, every... Yeah, I'll just stick to this. Every woman wants a man who's out doing something hard that she doesn't understand while she's like painting or writing. And then he comes back and makes love to her. Crazy love. And then, she finds out about all his exes and stuff. How he's banging all these old princesses. And she's like, I don't want to hear, but I want to hear. And whatever. She's like, you couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle it. And he gives it to her. She likes it. Then his like ex who really loves him, whatever, comes the climax, whatever of it. She gets tortured, and I don't know. Basically, it just ends with her getting tortured by some fairy bitch, and she kind of saves everyone. She has to do some brutal shit and kill some people. She feels real bad about it, but it launches a franchise. Launches a whole franchise. There's like 5 of these books, and there's a whole other set of 5 books that are in the same world, which, hey, I love. I love world building. I love building the Prithian. We gotta keep the blight out. Oh, that was one thing in here. They had their big festival that she wasn't supposed to go to, but then she goes to it and she drinks some of the wine. And they're like, "Don't drink it," but she drinks them, and it makes her act like crazy. And it's a festival for Tamlin to bang some chosen one or some chick, and because he's the guy, and the thing's gonna like kick off the spring season, but of the growth of like the fairy shit everywhere. So, okay, this is not for children's ears. This is not a kid's pod. This is not for anything. This is adult shit, okay? Basically, they're like, and they're all banging while he's doing it. He's like, they gotta get their cum everywhere, all over the land and on them, and so they can fight off the disease that's taken over their crop. What the fuck? And I get, that's kind of beautiful in a way. It's kind of gross. Filthy. Jim Carrey's the Riddler, Good book. I'm going to read the rest. For sure. I want to make sure they get all the cum on all the crops. Gotta fight the bad fairy. Fuck. It's going to be more. I keep banking. Okay, I've read the first one, and I pitched this to my wife. Not the coming on crop stuff. We're way past that. I said there's going to be something where you realize she's like the chosen one. Well, they did. Okay. And this is a spoiler. They said that because there was a spell on fucking search she followed on Tamlin that the spell would be lifted if he fell in love with someone who hated fairies, who killed a fairy. And so he sent people over to kill fairy or whatever. And so she was kind of the chosen one. But I think it's going to go deeper than that. Like she's a fairy or something. We're going to find out. There's going to be some deep shit. Maybe some Darth Vader shit. I wonder if her and Tamlin stay together forever. They're probably going to break up by book 2 and start getting back together by the end of book 2. And then in book 3, they'll get back together, but they're not going to be who they think they are. Are there clones coming? Are there fucking clones? There's some trickery like that. That Risk guy calling everyone a whore. You're on whores. Where's the movie at? Where's the movie of Thorns and Roses? Yeah, that's what I read. Been reading Plato. Last Days of Socrates. I don't got enough steam to talk about it though. I just don't. I'm reading it. I'm smart. It's very good. TV, watching Baywatch. Something comfortable about Baywatch. They got Baywatch Hawaii from '99. Fucking Jason Momoa was on that show. He's so young. So young. Crazy, man. Gives me hope. I could be Aquaman one day. Career goes, dude. No one man should have all that power. Okay. Let me take a sip of this Crystal Quencher Meyer. You know you're in the Midwest when you're drinking that Meyer. Sparkling water. Video games. It's alarming how happy video games make me and content. Okay. I got the MVP pack. MVP pack. Excuse me. For PlayStation 5. I'm playing NCAA 27 and Madden 27. I realize that you're pretty much just paying for the updated rosters. The games don't change too much. It's still the same Shiza I was playing in 04 with Michael Vick, baby. However, it's great. In 03 with Joey Harrington. I had that game too. I remember that. That was a fucking... Here's the thing. I'm playing NCAA 27, and the games are hard. And I like playing them. I got a lot of seasons going on, man. Okay, I launched my MSU season, and I played the first game on All Madden, and I lost to Toledo, and I let myself just lose. I was like, whatever. It's a throwaway season, because once the actual season starts, I'm going to do 15-minute quarters on the best mode I should choose. But right now, I've been stuck on the Michigan game, and I've been playing it every night as soon as Jeopardy's over, and I try to limit myself to 1 hour. It gets a little crazy in there because I have to do restarting. I'm only on playing on All Pro. Okay, shoot me. It's only All Pro. It's not even all Heisman. And I came darn close, and tonight we're going to see again. But I'm having a darn good time. Man, you know, I want to launch some other seasons, maybe a Colorado season. I don't want to skip past. But I am playing over and over again. And the game's freaking hard, man. I respect that. I respect the video game more than the actual game, which feels more rigged. I played that in Madden. And Madden's easy because, like, if you're a throwaway, NFL fan, playing a little fantasy, they got the week-to-week matchups with the updated rosters. So you can tune in, play a quarter, even with preseason. Like tonight, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do half with Howard, half with Drew Aller for Steelers. But I also drafted an entire Michigan State alum team. You can do a create your own franchise draft. And it was easy to get all the ones that are in the league because most of them aren't super highly rated. So I kind of tanked my team just picking them first. Top of the list was Kenneth Walker III because he was 90 overall. Then I get Kirk Cousins. And then I got Jaden Reed and I got Jalen Naylor, a wide receiver. I got Cam Hayward. Not Cam Hayward, Connor Hayward. Cam would have been nice. Connor Hayward. These are all Michigan State alum. I got, is his name Nathan Carter as my backup running back. He's in the league. Joe Bocci, this linebacker. I got him on my team. Was it Naquan Jones? Didn't gash it in. A defensive tackle. I got a few. And it's fun. And I got you can create your coach's name. So I made my coach's name Izzo D'Antonio. It's just a nice time in virtual world. Don't know what else to say about that. Just having a good time. I want
you guys to root for me and think of me as I'm playing Michigan again. And I'm changing the jerseys. Sometimes I go to the big house with my green jerseys. I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. I can do it. I can customize the jerseys. You guys wear the whites. We're the yellows. We're the maize. We wear the green. It's gonna be an interesting time. Well, I hope no one took anything I said to heart, because I don't stand by any of it. And I enjoy this podcast. I enjoy life. I enjoy art, science, and music and nature. Go ahead and tune in to JordanLear.com. Watch my movie Sex, Drugs, and Open Mics. See it screening at the Riviera Theater in Three Rivers, Michigan, September 12th. Watch me on Ian Sheldon on TBS every frickin' week, pretty much. Any other shows, reach out if you want to do me. Reach out if you want to ask me how I'm doing. Don't. 103.3. No, just 103. What is 103 to me? It's the rest of 103. Just cut 10 pounds a week. Didn't poop for a week. Alright, see you.
Not bad for an amateur.